Hey, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to properly transfer a website from Cloudways to Hostinker, specifically if you're using Cloudflare DNS for your website. We're going to run over a few troubleshooting tips as well, such as if the website won't transfer at all because you're using a custom login. We'll also tackle SSL issues if you're unable to, like if it's giving you an error because of an SSL certificate could not be generated, and that's a big mistake, like a big one, so you'll want to stick around for that, or just skip, scrub through the video and find that section. But another thing that we'll talk about is your caching. So if you have Redis caching on your old Cloudways account and now it's just not generating, it's not working properly because it's hitting a caching issue, I'm going to show you how to fix that as well. And finally, I'll also show you how to make sure that your new hosting IP address is configured on your Cloudways account, because of course your old server is going to have a different IP than your new one, but Cloudways is not going to know that. So we'll talk about that too. So yeah, let's get to it. So the website that I'm going to transfer over to Hostinker is this one here, 𝘲𝗏𝘃.co. And the first thing you got to do is go to Hostinker and go to websites. And then over here, you're going to go to Migrate Website. All right, and you can see I have a couple of websites that I've already finished, and there's two that are currently in progress. So we're going to click Migrate Website in the top right corner, and we're going to add our login details. Let's click Continue. Then the website name. I don't think it matters if you use www or just HTTPS, but for safety, I'm always going to go HTTPS:// and then either your primary preference, whether it's www or without the www. I typically never add the W, so it's just going to be, there you go, 𝘲𝗏𝗃.co, and I will click Enter. Now, it's very important that you don't remove the website from your old server yet, because right now what Hostinker is doing is it's looking for the documents and the database from that website. So if you remove it from, say, Cloudways, right now it can't do anything, it can't search for the website. All right, so now I think it sees that it's a WordPress website, so I'll go ahead and click WordPress, and we're going to log in with our actual login username and password. Now here's the first issue that you may have. One of the issues that I ran into is that I often don't use WP login or WP admin to log into my websites for security. I add something different like /web login. You get the idea. I change it so that hackers will have a harder time finding the page to access the website. If you do that, you're going to have trouble in this part because Hostinker is looking for the base page of the website. So it would be like WP/login or admin. So that's what, if I don't add anything here, that's what it's going to do. But if you do have something like /web access or web login or something like that as your login URL, you'll want to add that here. However, I have added that previously because I do have a different one, and it failed when I added the /WP and my custom login. It still failed. So my suggestion is to ensure that your website does not have any special logins. Just use the base login. And to do that, to make sure that I didn't have anything freaky going on, I went to the website and checked the plugins and made sure that there weren't any security plugins currently active. So let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, I just ran into an issue here where I typed in the domain just to check it out. I don't know, I haven't seen this page before, but I do know what the issue is, and it's very likely that I didn't have a proper SSL, which is exactly what it says it's looking for, invalid SSL certificate. So I went into Cloudways and added an SSL. Apparently I didn't have one at all. I've never seen that was an issue before, but right now it seems like an issue, but just adding it should fix that problem. And then I can go ahead and make sure that my plugins don't have a security plugin messing things up. All right, it looks like this domain has an active SSL right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at that website again. Hopefully this works. Perfect. All right, great. So now we're able to log in. And that was probably going to be a massive issue anyway, even though I was just checking if the plugin was going to block anything. That was already going to block something. So make sure that your website is actually up, because I didn't. So let's go to WP admin. And actually, if I just go to WP admin and I get to the admin page, that should be enough. Okay, sorry, WP login, because admin only works once you're already logged in. And it seems like that didn't work. So that means I probably do have a security plugin changing the login details. So let's fix that. All right, so I did log in, and yes, I logged in through my custom login page. So that means that this was active. So I'm going to disable that just to be sure that when Hostinger goes to the login page, it's going to go to the base WordPress one and not a custom one. I'm also going to deactivate a couple of other security and performance plugins while I'm at it, just to make sure that it doesn't run into any more issues. And okay, great. So I'm going to go back to Hostinger and I'm going to enter my actual admin username and password so that we can log into the website. And I'm going to keep the login URL, just the plain vanilla login for a WordPress website. All right, moving forward, it's verifying login details. Let's see what it says. Okay, still got an issue here, so I think maybe we do need to add the /login. So I'm going to add this as the URL. I'm going to click next, because what it's not telling me that my username and password are incorrect. It's telling me that the URL login is incorrect. So let's try this. I just added wp-login, and if that doesn't work, I'll do wp-login .php, and we'll see if that works. That didn't work, so let's do .php. And if that doesn't work, we'll try -admin, but I don't know why it's not working. Let's see. Very odd. Okay, this is my last Hail Mary here. Base domain name /wp-login .php. Oh Christ, I can't believe this. I had a plugin that I didn't even realize. It was exactly what... It's the hide the login plugin. How stupid was that? So sorry about wasting your time there. Yeah, just make sure you disable all your plugins and make sure extra sure. I made extra sure, but I should have made extra sure that I didn't have anything that was blocking this. And I should have seen it. It was right in my face. Now everything should work just fine. So let's go back here, and actually I'm going to revert to https://nijag.co/wp-login.php. This should work. I think this will work. Perfect. There you go. Great, that finally worked. So you can see the issue was that I had this other plugin there. Make sure that that's not your issue too. And then I added the base URL. Now we're good to go. So migration. So it's going to migrate this site from here to Hostinger. This is the website's name that it's going to save as the name. The platform is WordPress. Now it says it could take 30 minutes or 24 hours. In my experience with a couple of these websites migrations, it's taken us about an hour really, and I think there might be a human behind it, because if there's an error, they take a screenshot of what the issue is and they add a note manually. So I think a human might be logging in and working on this. I don't know though. Like a human might be logging into the website itself and migrating some stuff. So now it says it's getting ready to migrate, and now what's going to happen is it's in the process, in the progress. Now I started these about 30 minutes ago and they're still working on it, so you can see it might take a little bit. So for now I'm just gonna wait to see what happens. Oh great, look at that, it worked. It actually seems like it finished. So let's go ahead and go to the website, and it's still, this is super critical, it's still not on Hostinger even if this works, because it's still using the old server address. So we have to go into Cloudflare and change that manually, or else, I mean, look at this. This is still pointing to Cloudways. So that's obviously not right? So we got to get our hosting account IP address. I can do that by going to the website, clicking dashboard, click on hosting. And then if you click on hosting, you'll see your website IP address. I got to copy that to my clipboard, copied successful, and then go over to your Cloudflare account if you are using Cloudflare, and go to... And if you're not using Cloudflare, it's wherever your domain records are kept. So if you're just using Namecheap, that's fine too. It would be the same thing. You just change the A records. So over here, I'm on my website. Let's change this from the old one to the new one and click save. And I'm gonna turn off the proxies for now to make sure that the SSL certificate is generated correctly on Hostinger's side. Cool. So right now we have, and I'm going to delete all my old records, except you don't have to do this at all. And if you don't know what I'm doing right now, then do not mess with this stuff. I know what I'm doing, so I'm going to delete all of these and just leave because I just want to. Don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. There. So I'm going to keep this clean. Just have 2 A records and then the text record here for Google verification. So look at that. This is my new IP address, and I turned off the proxies temporarily. And now if we go to my website, it should work, but probably give me an issue regarding SSL. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see, because now we get to tell it to recreate a new SSL in Hostinger. And that's the reason why I turned off the proxies, because every time that I've tried to do that previously, it said there was an error. And the solution was to turn off the proxies temporarily and then turn them back on after the SSL certificate is successfully generated. So here I am on my website, security, SSL, perfect. You see this? SSL certificate wasn't installed because of that issue. So now I can click cancel and then create a new one, install a new one, SSL certificate on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. It is being installed, and this is pretty quick. It'll happen within maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So quick enough for us to just hang out and let's see what happens. Okay, it's refreshing automatically, so that's probably a good thing. Perfect. The SSL certificate is now added correctly. Remember, it wasn't adding it correctly, but now it is. Cool. Now that it's added correctly, I am going to go back in here and turn these on, because if you don't, then you don't get any of the benefits that Cloudflare has to offer. Cool. So again, and I'm going to refresh the page to make sure, that these are solid, that, you know, they're saved correctly. All right, looks good to me. Proxied and using the new server. So I will go back into 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, click enter, and it works. And now the final thing that I want to do is I want to go to who is hosting this URL. I misspelled that, don't worry about it. After years of using AI and not caring about how I spell, my spelling is getting worse and worse. All right, so hosting checker. Now this probably won't give me exactly who is actually hosting it now, because it's gonna route to Cloudflare anyway. So it probably won't tell me like if it's Hostinger or Cloudways, but we'll see. Okay, so this says Cloudflare, so still not that's not a great place to find out. Let's see. And this I think is still my old address, is it not? But that could be because it's cached. I suppose the ultimate way to find out is if I just delete my website on the old website or the old server, because I don't need it anymore, right? So let's go to the server, go to the website application itself and delete application. I don't think I'll miss anything here because everything is transferred over. So let's make sure everything's transferred over. I guess an easy way to do that would be to go to the file manager and take a look at some of our files. And if I see a few of them there, then everything's good. Because remember, even though we were able to see this website, we're just making sure that it's not actually loading all these images and this font and the copy from the old server. And then if I delete the application, or the website rather, from the old server, then everything is gone. So here it is, public HTML, loading, great. So now we do see we see WordPress content, we see, yeah, so this is one of the plugins that I use. So that means that the website's files are actually on Hostinger. So we're going to delete the website from Cloudways. What does it want me to do? Delete. Okay, so that's going to take a little bit of time because it just does that. It takes a few minutes. But if we're able to still access this website just fine, that means that it's fully running on Hostinger. All right, so the server has refreshed. I don't have 7 websites on this server anymore. I have 6. So if I click enter, the only place that they should be getting these files are from Hostinger. So that looks good to me. And then I think there might be one other issue that you might run into. Oh, this is a massive one. The Redis. So one of the errors I ran into, I'll show you a picture of it right here. So you see this right here, error establishing Redis connection. I ran into this issue and I was having a tough time figuring it out, but all you have to do is go into your WP config file and actually, so it says that you have to go into your WP config file and find the information that is relevant to this Redis config stuff. And I threw that into Gemini to try to find it. So I went into this folder. I'll show you now. If you go to File Manager on Hostinger, you'll be able to edit this after the website is fully migrated, depending on where your website's coming from. Okay, so you'll go to public HTML after you take a look at your files, and then your, where is it? WP config file is right here. So what I did is I copied all of this and threw it into Gemini, an AI essentially, to tell it, hey, find me that area that you're talking about that I need to edit or config or delete. And it couldn't find it. It wasn't there at all. And finally, we cracked the code, and it was actually not that at all. It was actually a file called object-cache.php. I might not have it. I probably don't have it in here because the website's working. But what I did was I found the file right in here, right at the top level of public HTML, and I right-clicked it and deleted it. Now, it wasn't this one, obviously, but it was a file called object-cache.php. When I deleted that, then my website was up and running. So those are really the 3 main issues that I ran into when I was trying to migrate my website. All right, so in conclusion, that is how you transfer your website successfully from any other place to Hostinger. So thanks for watching. And if you like this and it was helpful, hit the subscribe and hit the like button. It helps out a lot. Thanks.